The shoes maketh the man. Can shoes get you distance? Let's find out. Welcome back to the golf shop. Jim McCleary here, 6-time top 100 best golf club fitters with Golf Digest. And you know, you get on the internet and you go and you start searching for things. Right now, I'm in the market for some shoes. I've had my others for a couple of years and I'm done with them. So, you know, for me, the number one thing is comfort. I want a comfortable shoe. The most comfortable shoe I've ever had was a Crocs model. And yes, it was comfortable, but it was so soft it wore out in just no time flat. Done. So going around the internet, I see this, you know, all the info stuff starts popping up, and Sqairz hits, and of course Sir Nick Faldo's, you know, he's shelling them out, and but I go, the most comfortable comes out. I was like, ooh, let's take a look at that. Well, if you go to their website or if you go to the YouTubing part of it, it talks about gaining yardage, right? It's about gaining yardage and this new way that they're made and all this science. And I said, ooh, I got my attention even more. So comfort and science. It's a comfortable, sciencey shoe. Yes, that's what I want. So order a pair, right? So they had one on sale and I ended up getting a pair. And the other part was it had a USA shoe. What better way for a guy who used to be in the military, dude? I am all about this shoe. Comfort, science, USA, dude, I'm in. So I bought them. They came in, and now it's time to put them to the test. So let's go hit some balls. All right, testing for the shoes. What I did is I had a pair of regular shoes, tennis shoes, that kind of thing. You know, the style of your current, more popular golf shoe, and I hit 6 shots, and this is what they look like. Not too bad, a little bit of a pull to the inside, and that's my typical miss. Using a 7-iron, right? So 174, 185, 185, 181, 181, 176. All right, so if we go and we get the Sqairz shoe, let's look at this. Off it goes. I got 2 distinct patterns. I'm either landing to the right or I'm going straight. However, you'll hear bigger numbers, 195, 184, 180, 178, 186, and 186. So that was a pretty decent one. Then what I decided is go all out. You know, that was a normal swing. Let's go all out and see what that looked like. So this was the regular iron, going as fast as I possibly could. And as you would think, when one tries to get, you know, hit out of their shoes, this is what they see, kind of a spread, right? And again, 188, 195, 190, 192, 196, that was a good one, 194, and there we are. And then we go into the Sqairz, and we see the shot. Hey, a little bit narrower, a little bit tighter, one just each way. Look at that. Okay. Ooh, 201, 193, 189, 195, 189, 190. And that's how those fell out. So what does that mean in totals and reviews, right? So the Sqairz swinging fast and the regular iron swinging fast basically ended up equal, right? They ended up equal. Swinging about a 0.2 mile an hour difference, hitting them almost exact. Well, I did. I hit them exactly the same. I spun with got a little bit more spin using the shoes. You know, what is that? 100 RPM. The vertical got up a little bit higher, and everything else is very, very close. However, when we go to look at it, this is what it looks like. So we'll get the singles. And that's with the Sqairz fast. So I'm hunting the middle of the fairway, 10 yards either way. When I hit it with my regular shoes, I get some pretty nasty pulls to the inside about 20 yards, and a couple of them, half of them inside the 10-yard mark. So a little bit more, let's see, precise, right? Very far, but precise. So now we go, well, let's go back. We go back, and then we see when I'm hitting a regular shot, it's 183 to 185. Wearing my shoes, it's 179 to 180. So swinging normally, and this is what I did, is I swung in the regular irons, or regular shoe first, Sqairz second. Then I went into Sqairz first and then regular second to kind of give everybody a break. And I took just a little bit of time in between so I wouldn't be all wore out. All right, going back to that is that I swung about just under a mile per hour faster, hit them both exactly the same as far as quality, but because of just a little faster, the ball speed was a little bit up. Didn't hit it as high by about 1.5 feet. I was hitting draws, as the case may be, and everything else was about the same. So a little bit further, right? About 4 yards to 5 yards, depending on which category. But where did they go? Well, we go to, there's the regular iron, or the regular shoe. And again, got 4 out of the 2 towards the middle, not bad. And then there's the Sqairz. Again, we got 4 with 2 to the inside. So, not, and they're a pretty big one right out here. But so almost the same, just a little further. So what can we say? Well, we can say that in swinging regularly, you can get a little bit more distance. Swinging fast, you're a little bit more precise. At least what this test did. That was 24 hole golf balls, right? So what we really need to do is go outside and test it. But let's go back. So it really worked out, right? They did what they said they were going to do. So that's not too bad. But did it work outside? Let's find that out. So science prevails, comfort prevails, USA prevails, right? It's all together. So I took them out. You got to see some of the swings, and I was hitting some pretty solid shots. Now, the first round in Ohio, all right, first round in Ohio, first set of sticks, first time using my new irons, wedges, hybrids, putter, right? New. Didn't do very good on the front, shot a 46. Mostly because I was short everywhere. I was misjudging everything. On the back I shot 39. Now we're back into it, and basically I stopped fighting my shoes and getting used to all the equipment. So what I really thought was a couple of things with the Sqairz shoes, all right? And I'm not going to be an infomercial, but when you stand on those shoes, it wants to force you forward. It's almost like you're sitting tilted. And that took a bit. And once I decided it was okay, boy, oh boy, did things change. They are comfortable. They're really comfortable. They feel like they have a wider platform than what they really are. I think what was happening was that the golf shoes today were starting to shrink. And what was happening for me is because I turn and roll over onto the front quite a bit, that the shoe starts sliding with it, and I get over the edge. Well, that's no good. Now that the Sqairz have a wider platform, I can't do that, and it keeps me in a spot that I really like. To the point I hit at least 4 or 5 really good driver shots. It's not about 300 blah blah blah. But I hit some more than I normally would. I think I hit more than I normally would, and I attribute it to that, and because now I'm comfortable swinging, which adds to the distance. So, did it do what it said it was going to do? Yes. Do I like the way that they feel? Yes. Can I dig on the USA some more? Yes. Oh, the last bit of this was their shoelaces, something unique I've never seen before. The shoelaces have these little squares of what only I can call as silicone on them, and they're spaced out, and they're to be non-slip shoelaces. And these non-slip shoelaces are really kind of different. And when you pull them, and they go tick, 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 because you're sliding across the squares, and then they tie them up. I didn't have to retie my shoes either. Nothing really came out of that, so that was pretty good as well. So all in all, it was a good purchase, yes. Would I recommend them? Yeah, I would. So go take a look at Sqairz. I don't get anything for it, at least at this time frame. And we'll see. And enjoy it, right? And as always, let's see your scores go low.